Okay, so philosophy courses very often start with Plato's Republic, and this is for good reason. Firstly, many of the themes, many of the arguments that we see in Plato's Republic, we find in later philosophers discussed and debated. So, firstly, that's a good reason why this is a good introduction to philosophy. But secondly, the way it's written, you have the narrator, Socrates or Socrates, I'm not sure exactly how I should say that, I'm going to say Socrates. He is clearly Plato's, perhaps his hero of argument, his philosopher hero, someone who he looked up to, let's put it like that. And Socrates is having a debate, a discussion with some of his friends. And he talks to many different characters during the Republic. And really, he's constantly asking these other characters questions, such as, what is justice? Is life harder in old age? He actually asks them lots and lots and lots of questions. And so it gives the student it puts them in the position of the person who Socrates is asking these questions to. And so you really have to answer these questions. And so it's a good book. It certainly gets you thinking about some really common philosophical themes, and perhaps the most important philosophical themes. So the book one starts with an older character, Cephalus, a rich old man, and Socrates asks him, is life harder in old age? And Cephalus gives his answer. He explains that, in his opinion, it depends on your disposition. It depends on whether you've been a good man or not. And this is because he says, as you get closer to death, you either start to fear what comes afterwards, because you might be punished if you've been an unjust man, or you start to feel hope that you will be rewarded because you've been a just man. So something which kind of involves a belief in the afterlife as well. But he mentions fear and hope in relation to justice and a lack of justice, injustice. And so he seems to think that some people will find life easier in old age, those who have been just men, and some people will find life harder. And then they talk a little bit about how wealth might colour his perception. And I think it's Socrates, but I'm not entirely sure. Do read book one. This is supposed to be an introduction, but just to introduce you to the themes, really. So I think it's Socrates says, aren't people cynical? And don't they think that maybe it's your wealth that has made life easier in old age? And he actually asks Cephalus, what is the greatest blessing of wealth? And Cephalus responds that the greatest blessing is being able to be a just man.